The Cincinnati Reds Winter Caravan Tour made its stop in Chillicothe Thursday. Among the visitors, Corky Miller, a Reds legend, and also Reds broadcaster Thom Brenneman. We'll visit with them and more coming up in just a moment. Briggs & Stratton portable power generators are a great insurance policy and reliable power when you need it. Be prepared for power outages, camping, and getting power to places off the grid. In stock now at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe.
Well, it's a simple word. The word is hope. I mean, I think whether you're a fan or you work for the team, doesn't matter what job you have with the team, you feel like this year that there's some hope going into a season. I mean, you always have false hope. And I think a lot of us the last few years, you look at the team on paper and say, well, if and that happened and so on and so forth. But, you knew it'd probably be a little bit of a stretch to be in contention. But when you look at the way, players, as you mentioned, have evolved over the last number of years that have had a chance to play and or pitch, and now all of a sudden the additions the franchise has made, there is hope again, and it's realistic hope.
What a special year 2019 was for your dad.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, they announced his stepping away at the end of the season. Walk us through the emotions of the final days.
It was a lot of ups and downs. It was, I think, my sister, who's a year younger than I am, we were there obviously from the very beginning when we first moved from Virginia Beach to Cincinnati. And so to think that all of a sudden your dad, and who has this, you don't even look at it as a job. It's just this place that he's been going to the same place for 46 years. And she flew in from Chicago with her family and my family, and when we were all there, and it was surreal. And I'm not quite sure it's really even hit yet until we start playing this season. Because I see him a lot in the wintertime. Our son plays on the high school basketball team, and so he comes to every single game. And he would be in off-season mode right now anyway. I hope and pray that when March and April and May come around that he's still doing as well then as he is now, because I worry about him. I was one of the people that tried to talk him into not necessarily, doing every game like he has for a long time, but why not, do 25 or 30 or something like that. But he said he'd had enough, and so good for him. Yeah, well, I think spring training, he's going to go out there for about 2 or 3 weeks. He's come to really like Arizona quite a bit, and so he and his wife are going to go out there, and they'll be around the ballpark from time to time. I don't think they'll be there every day, but I think he's pretty much committed to not, in any form or fashion, not even just showing up on the radio or TV, to even pop in to say hi and those kinds of things. I think he would do that off the air. And we sure hope so, because it's nice to have lunch with him or dinner with him if he comes down the ballpark before a game. But as far as right now, I don't think he has any plans even to a cameo every now and again.
I know Tommy Thrall is involved
now.
How will the structure change broadcast-wise? We will still see you and Chris together, and then the Cowboys?
Yeah, that's the only change is Tommy's basically stepping in where my dad was, and I think where my dad was missing like 35 games a year or something like that, maybe 40 games a year. I think Tommy will be doing just about every single one of them, and the rest of us are glad to be back. Chris and Jeff and me, and then most of the pregame show people are still the same, and Jim Day's still around, and Brian Giesenslaw, and Sam LeCure is going to be doing a few more games on the pregame and postgame set this year than we've had in the past. So those are all good things.
You're probably going to get this question a lot over the weekend. Your take on Major League Baseball's handling of the Houston Astros scandal?
Well, I was surprised that there weren't some players involved. I understand that they went after the general manager, and they went after the manager of the teams really, because Alex Cora's fate, even though he's already agreed to leave the Red Sox, there's not been a punishment handed down to him. But I think most people thought when they initially heard the rumor of this that this was a top-down sort of operation, where in reality it was very much a bottom-up operation. And so I don't know how. I'm not smart enough. That's above my pay scale. You would have gone about doing that, but I'm very surprised that the people who were actually executing the plan were not hit with some kind of suspensions and or fines, because they were the ones who were out there doing it every day.
I played up into 2014, and about halfway through the season decided that I just couldn't do it anymore, and took about a month off, and then started going out and working with the catchers right away, and I was the fourth coach in Dayton for about a season, but kept going out to the other clubs and working with the catchers. So basically now I'm just going from team to team, working with the catchers, working with all the players, and just trying to pass along a lot of my experiences. And, you know, I am the guy that people come to if there's questions about the catchers or what they should do or how we should handle some of our work with them. So I spend, 10 hours a day in spring training with all the catchers and watching what they're doing and going over film and learning the new stuff with analytics and just trying to take all this information that David Bell and J.R. House from the big leagues down are putting out there for us and trying to help the catchers understand what's is going to help them, what's is going to be the best part to look at, how to look at them, how to work it, how to do all that stuff. I mean, you name it, I'll do it.
Barnhart, whose bat started coming alive late, Casali could fill the role if need be, but everyone seems to be happy with the two platoon there.
Yeah, I mean, they're two great guys for the pitching staff for the team. They're really, really good behind the plate, and it might be a situation where David finds who's got the hot hand, who's the matchups are the best. I mean, obviously you got Tucker, who's won a Gold Glove, and you got Curt, who is solid back there, and he knows what to do. He knows how to handle a pitching staff. He knows how to handle a team, and you're looking to those two guys to lead the whole team. And us as a minor league catching corps, we look at those guys. They come down, they talk to us. It's something where it's one family, and that's how Tucker, Casali, I mean, even when Devin was here, it was just one whole family, and those guys are the guys that everybody's looking up to.
I think it's pretty fun, first of all, just to be here and be with the team and be with this crowd and just be known by the fans, be exposed to the fans, and it's just a lot of fun to be here. And like you said, it's obviously a sign of good things. And if the opportunity comes where I can join the big club this year and produce and help out, and I'm more than ready to do that.
I've been involved with these Caravan tours, stopping here in Chillicothe the last 10, 12 years or so. And at one point in time, we had every position player except for the pitcher who had been in the studio with us as minor league players. So that's got to be promising, I think.
I mean, hey, if we're going to keep that trend going, I'm more than willing to help out.
Outfield is your
Yeah,
position?
I play outfield, all three.
Okay. Talk about what you hope might be your big break.
Yeah, I mean, in baseball, it's pretty much, something happens, a guy gets traded, moves are made, and then whoever's ready at the time, gets the opportunity. So for me, it's just a matter of staying ready, taking advantage of all the opportunities that I get, and if there's a break up there and they need an outfielder, an extra guy that can do a few things, and I might be that guy, and I'll be ready to go. I'll be ready to help out.
Yeah, I like that gumption, because when Puig was traded, we thought, oh golly, what are they going to do? And then Aquino.
Next thing you know, Aquino comes up.
Fantastic week.
Yeah.
Can you duplicate that?
Hey, you never know, man. I'm telling you, in baseball, you put a bat in my hand and put me in the batter's box. You never know what could happen. To me, I feel like I have a little bit of explosion in me, and then you put me in there, and anything could happen.
Perhaps you'd like to stay in Cincinnati for more than one game. Well, Pam McFarland from the Reds Caravan sponsor, CincinnatiUSA.com, gives us more details.
You can book hotel stays at CincinnatiUSA.com/Reds, and you can also get some half-price tickets. So there's over 50 hotels in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. Lots to do around the ballpark, that sort of thing. I have been lucky enough to do the Caravan with these guys for 10 years, and I've been with Tom for probably almost all 10 of them. And so they have truly become friends of the Regional Tourism Network. And they are so good to us and help us in so many ways get people to come to Cincinnati and enjoy, the Banks, which is right there by the Reds Stadium, all of the bars and the restaurants. And they truly help us pack people into Cincinnati. And we are rooting for a really good year this year.
The 2020 season opens March 26th for the Reds, a home series with the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching Litter Media.